Hello, folks out there in Covenant County. Welcome to another edition of What's Up?
What's up, John?
With the original creator of What's Up, Covenant County.
Well, you kind of caught me off guard that morning and wanted me to say something real quick, and all I could say was, "What's up?"
It worked.
Well,
We've been calling it that ever since. We didn't have a name for it either. If you don't know him, his name's Don Cotton. He's an entrepreneur. He's a friend of mine. First and foremost, a good friend of mine for a long time, and but he's very involved in our community. We have him on. Don and I get on here and talk about a lot of stuff. Sometimes we understand it, sometimes we're fooled by it, and sometimes we continue to think about it and develop some more mature opinions that maybe don't necessarily make it to television. But Don's here today to talk to us about a thing. If you look up here, it says, "Run for God." Now, folks, that says run for God. It does not mean run from God. Although I'm sure there are plenty of us out there that have done that for many years of our lives, and some of us may still be doing it. But Don is, I guess you're one of the founding members, if not the founding member.
No, I can't take the credit for that, but I can tell you all about it.
Please do, spokesman.
Well, what had happened was Jennifer O'Neill.
Yeah.
Many people know Jennifer and Darren O'Neill.
Yeah, most of them would rather know Jennifer.
Well, we won't go there, but Darren and Jennifer are very active in the community.
Yeah, they are.
Jennifer is a runner.
Sure is.
Has been for a number of years, and she loves to run and runs long distances. Has run a marathon, and you may want to get her on to get her to tell her story. But
we'd love to.
And then she has a very interesting how she came to know the Run for God program. Anyway, she wanted to bring. She read about the Run for God in one of her running magazines, and Run for God was a program that started in Dalton, Georgia, by Hollis Mitchell. Hollis was an avid runner. He was very active in his church, deacon, Sunday school teacher, just really active in his church. But one day, one of his best friend, fellow deacons, came to him and says, "Hollis, you have let running become your God. That is all you want to talk about." And he said it hit him right there in the heart. Said he got to thinking about it, and he said maybe he should give up running and get back active in his church. Well, he was active in his church, but just every time he wanted to talk about something, it was running.
Always related to running.
Yeah. So, but he didn't want to give up running. So he came up with this stick figure and the phrase "Run for God," and he put it on a T-shirt. And he started continuing to run the marathons and the 5Ks. And when people would ask him about his shirt, it gave him an opportunity to witness to them about Jesus. So that was the way he was able to incorporate running, his love for running and his love for Christ. Others started to join his group. So he then decided that, or determined that people that couldn't run because they're not trained properly needed to learn how. So the program is, he took the Couch to 5K program.
Couch to 5K, that would be somebody that laid on the couch like me and had a 5K, that's a little over 3 miles.
3.1 miles.
Yeah.
So you train for that. The program consists of the first week you run for 1 minute, and then 12 weeks later you'll be built up endurance and stamina that you can run a 5K. He put that Run for God together with that program, and he launched it. Jennifer read about it in one of her running magazines and thought maybe that would work at Andalusia. So I guess it's been 3 years ago now, she formed the Run for God Andalusia 5K Challenge. She acquired you order as an instructor, you get their package.
Right.
And it has 12 weeks of training, 12 weeks of testimony, 12 weeks of scripture reading. And she brought it to Andalusia. And about 20 of them, I think she said, for the first class, ran the class and graduated. The graduation was a 5K race that you would participate in, and it went from there. And then we're about to launch our 8th class, which is going to start September the 1st, Saturday, September the 1st, and I'm going to be one of the instructors. This would be, I participated in the 2nd class as a student, and I could tell about how I got there a little later in this interview. But anyway, Run for God Andalusia will start its 8th class Saturday, September the 1st.
What time?
We register at 7:30 Saturday morning. We meet at the student building, First Baptist Church on East 300 Street, right next to the Boy Scout hut. At 7:30, we want you to be there and register. Come a little early if you can. Register. No registration fee. Just come and sign a waiver and give us your contact info. Yeah. And we then start. We'll have a short scripture reading, and we'll have a prayer, and we'll go out, and we usually get on Tisdale Street. Yeah. And we'll run for 1 minute. We'll walk for 5. We'll run for 1. We'll walk for 5. We'll do the same thing again Tuesday afternoon at 5:45 and Thursday afternoon at 5:45, and we keep that same schedule for 12 weeks. Saturday mornings at 7:30, we have a classroom, because we talk about other topics. We talk about dieting, we talk about clothing, we talk about shoes, we talk about stretching. That's all part of the 12-week program, and that takes us usually 30 minutes every Saturday morning. Then we go out and do our exercise class, and then we do just exercise Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're in and out pretty quick. And we'll do that. We'll grow each week. We add run time and lessen the walk time until all of a sudden you realize 10 weeks into it, you're running for
10 minutes or
20 minutes or so.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. It works because I did it.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I agree. Well, I don't mean that. I didn't mean it that way.
I know what you meant.
I'm not sure how I meant it, but I'm sure you'll take it. Yeah, I'm sure you'll take it the wrong way.
We're close enough friends.
I know that. I know that. But no, and it's made a difference in the way you look. You look.
Well, I think it's. I appreciate that comment. I know.
I didn't say it made a positive difference. I just said
the difference.
I'm getting back at you.
Yeah,
now.
You are. Yes. But
yes, I'd say it was positive.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And it has changed my life, and there's a lot of aspects of the class, just the friendship that we make. I mean, I've gotten to know people that I've never would have had an opportunity to meet, and we run together, we pray together, we hold each other accountable, we lift each other up, and it's just a great organization. I think a term that's often used is plug in. I believe God plugged me into that program. I'm comfortable with it. I'm doing it. I do the exercise.
Right.
After the class is over with in 12 weeks, we continue to do the exercise part of it, which is running. And I very rarely miss. And it's been good for me, for my health. And I'm not blowing my knees out. I'm 62 years old. I started doing this when I was 59 years old. I never was an athlete.
Neither was I. You know that.
And but I've done it. I'm doing it, and if I can do it, anybody can. And we would love to have anyone out. Now, let me say this, and you probably need to go to a break.
Yeah,
the registration is Saturday, September the 1st. But I'm going to stick my neck out and say, if you missed the first week or two, up to probably the 4th week, you can still come in and catch up with us. But we'll eventually get to the point where if you've never run before, it would be a little tough to start with, like
catch up,
the 5th or 6th week. So if you missed the first week, you're busy, you're getting kids in school, or whatever's going on in your life, come on out the 2nd week or the 3rd week and sign up and join the crowd.
All right, well, folks, we'll be back in just a minute with more on Run for Life.
Run for God. Run for God.
Welcome back to Chapter 2 of today's What's Up, Covenant County, with Don Cotton, my good friend here.
You want to say Don Farrell, don't you?
You know I do. You've been Don Farrell to me ever since I've known you.
Well, I'm Don Farrell to my best friends and my family.
Yeah, and you know, it's just always, I know it's one of those things that when you're a kid, somebody says that Don Farrell, you're paralyzed, because the only person that ever called you Don Farrell for a long time was your mother, and that was when you were in trouble. Come here, Don Farrell! But, and I'm not saying your mama was that kind of person. She's a sweetheart. But
she took care of me when she needed to, too.
And that's why you turned out to be
That's
the kind of fellow that you are.
Exactly.
Your daddy did a good job, too. One of the finest human beings I've ever met in my life. Anyway, Don Farrell and I have been up here talking about Run for God, and it's sounds like a great organization. Super idea to try to get yourself healthified, get yourself in your body in a little bit better shape, and it's always, you know, I guess faith, like a lot of other things, is kind of about stretching yourself beyond what you think your normal limits are, and this is a good way to kind of prove that in your life. You got, you know, your own story of how you got involved with this is kind of interesting. Would you care to share that with us?
I'd be glad to, John. I'm glad you asked.
Well, I'm certainly glad I did too.
I had gone in for coming up my 50th checkup from my doctor, you know, when you turn 50.
Yeah.
And 60.
60, yeah, I was
I'm
going to
sorry.
say.
I did it when I did.
I was going
did
to check
50.
your math, but
I did do it when I turned 50, and then we do it every 6 months.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm about to turn 60, and and he's doing my examination, and he asked me what I was doing for exercise. Because I used to play golf. I used to walk a little bit playing golf. I mean, I was outside. I did outside activities as far as running bulldozers and helping my nephew and my
jumping to
sons.
conclusions, that's about all I do.
Well, you got to jump high and jump often.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything outside. I had changed, had a career change, and had bought my old company back, which put me inside an office. And I told him, I said, "No, Doc, I'm not really doing anything. I'm kind of an office person again." He said, "Well, at your age, you're coming up on 60. If you could just walk 15 minutes a day, or every other day," he said, "it'd make a difference in your blood pressures are getting a little high, your cholesterol's getting a little high." He said, "We can give you some pills for that, but you really need some exercise." I said, "Okay." So we live out in the edge of town, and so I'm an early bird, so I got up early in the morning and I walked, took me a flashlight, and that was the most boringest thing that I've ever done. I don't wear the ear pods and all that stuff, and I'm walking, and this ain't working. And I just couldn't force myself to continue to do that. But I'm also a routine person. And my routine in the mornings, if I'm in town, is I'm at the post office. Now it's 10:30. It used to be at 8:39.
Yeah.
But whenever they have the mail out, which is now 10:30, I am there at 10:30 to get my mail. And I see people. I mean, well, a lot of us have the same routine. I said, I could go into town at 10 o'clock, park, walk, go around the square, take a street or two off the square, walk back, and then get my mail and go back to the office. So I tried that, and I liked it because I saw people.
Yeah.
Toot the horn, hey, people would stop and ask me, did I need a ride?
Yeah,
that
I
kind
know
of
the
stuff.
feeling.
Yeah, am I broke down? That kind of thing. But that was fun. And I was enjoying that because, again, I was seeing people and kind of broke the monotony of just walking. Anyway, I've been doing it 2 or 3 months. And I'd come in on Saturday, same routine, Saturday morning, parked, I walked, and I was walking behind, and here's something else I learned about Andalusia, a small town. People are not looking for walkers, joggers, and bicycles.
That's true.
So we have to look out after the driver. I learned that if somebody is pulling out of a business or pulling out of a street, go ahead and walk behind them, because they're not going to look both ways, and you could be on one side of them, and they turn right into you. So I just walked behind the vehicles. There was a car pulling out of the Sonic Burger.
I remember when this happened.
And I walked behind the car and walked on over toward Daisy Cleaner. I was headed back to the post office. I say that because I was not in the crosswalk, okay?
Right.
I look up, and here comes a pickup truck coming off of East 3 Knott Street, turning down, and I'm thinking, he's going a little too fast. But then I thought, well, that's going to be old John Jay, and he's probably just going to slam on his brake and throw his horn.
Yeah, right.
Act like he's going to hit me.
Yeah.
Well, at the last instant, I realized whoever it was not going to stop. And at 245 out of shape pounds, if I get knocked down and he runs over me, it ain't going to be good.
It's going to be worse than a speed bump.
Yes. So with all my might and with some adrenaline pumping, I was able to jump and push and pretty much get on the hood of the truck. Then he slams on brakes, which throws me down on the street. And it's summertime. I got my shorts on.
Road rash.
Road rash, both knees. And anyway, I hit the street and I rolled because I didn't know what the driver was, his intentions were. I rolled until I hit the curb. And when I hit the curb, I felt like I was safe. And I stood up. Well, 3 or 4 people from Sonic had run over there, asked me was okay. I was brushing my elbows off. My knees were skint, and I didn't feel bad. So I didn't think I broke anything. And I look up, and it was a friend of mine that we have lunch together 2 or 3 times a month. He's 90 years old, and he just, I wasn't in the crowd. Anyway, I just looked at him like, I'm okay, and motioned him on. Well, one of the guys that came over from Sonic stood there. He said, "I saw what happened. Do you want me to take you to the hospital?" I said, "No, I'm just parked down at the post office. I'll be okay." He said, "No, come on, let me take you to the hospital." I said, "No, I'm bleeding up pretty good, but I was wiping it off." And I said, "No, I'm headed back." So I started walking, past the Daisy and got in front of the big Shreve house.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, ooh, my left hip.
Yeah.
Oh, my left ankle. Oh man, I guess the adrenaline was wearing off. Well, he had followed.
I've been there.
He followed me. He rolled his window down. He said, "Fella," he said, "get in the car. I'm taking you to the hospital." I said, "No, I'm parked right here. I'm just going to go on home." Well, he watched me get in my car, and I drove up to the house and called Cheryl. She came out and she wiped me down with some rags and put
don't bring that into the house.
And anyway, so all my family decided I need to go to the doctor Monday and let him check me. So I did, and nothing was broke. But now, John, I'm scared to walk. I'm just scared. I'm just scared to walk. You just don't know. So I quit walking. And do we need to take a break? I know we got another minute or two. Okay. So now I'm scared to walk. So there goes my exercise routine. Well, I've been doing a gospel program on the radio for 25 years.
Sure have.
And I get different ones to have helped me over the years to answer the phone. And Jan White, dear friend of mine, was helping me at the time.
If there's an angel in Andalusia, her name's Jan White.
Well, Jan had come in one Sunday morning and told me she was going to run a 5K. I said, okay. She said, really, I am. I said, Jan, when is this going to happen? She said, I'm in a new program that Jennifer O'Neill has brought to Andalusia. It's called Run for God. She said, we start out the first week, we will run for 1 minute, and we build ourselves up, and then 12 weeks later, she said, I'm going to run a 5K. Okay, Jan, well, next week, and then the next week, and all of a sudden, she's telling me they're up to 5 minutes, and next thing they're up to 10 minutes, and the next they're up to 20 minutes, and then next week, hey, I'm fixing to run a 3-miler this Saturday. I said, Jan, I said, Jan, you're doing it. She said, yeah. She said, it's not easy, but we're doing it. She says, about 20 of us. And I said, well, that's just great, Jan. And she ran a 5K. Yeah. She got her finisher's medal. I mean, it was, and then later she said, we're going to have another class. Jennifer's going to do another class. And she said, if I can do it, you can do it. And I said, Jan, I think I'm going to join that. Because I need to do something.
Yeah.
And so I joined the second class. Mm-hmm. And that second class, organized again by Jennifer and Darren, and they had Casey White, dear friend of theirs that goes to church with them. And let me throw this in, it's non-denominational.
Right.
We're meeting at First Baptist Student Center only because it has the facilities close to where we need to go.
Sure.
But you don't even have to go to church to join us. That's not the issue here. But anyway, they're friends at Southside, and Casey White was the instructor for my class. And they explained what the class is going to be about. And she told us we walk 5 minutes for warm up, and she said that will put us down. We were meeting in Greg White's old accounting office behind the courthouse.
Yeah.
She said we're going to walk for 5 minutes. That's going to put us down about the old Coke plant, and then we're going to run out River Falls Street toward the mall, toward Zaxby's. Mm-hmm. She said had a whistle. She said, I'm going to blow my whistle, and you're going to run for 1 minute, and I'm going to blow my whistle, and you'll walk for 5, and I'll blow my whistle, and you'll run for a minute, and I'll blow the whistle. So when you hear the whistle blow, you're either beginning to run, or you're stopping. So we're all gathered up. We'd walk the 5. She said, blows the whistle, and here we take off running. Now let me put running in the right perspective. There's 2 women that can walk faster than I can run.
I understand.
Okay, you know where I'm coming from. We use the word running very, very
Well, it's kind of,
liberally.
yeah. It's like truth in Washington. It's a very loosely used term.
So we take off, and we're running, and I said, blow the whistle, lady. I said, she has dropped her whistle. Somebody has stolen her whistle. Her whistle is broke. She needs to be blowing that whistle. And finally, she blew the whistle. We started walking. So we walked, which seemed like a few seconds, but it had been about 5 minutes. She blows the whistle, and here we go again. And it was all I could do to do that little 1 minute jog that we started out doing. But I did it. I mean, I didn't stop. And then sure enough, 12 weeks later, ran a 5K as a graduation run. And I befriended the people that were in there. We just became friends. Again, we look out after each other. We text, we email. Are you going to be there Tuesday, Thursday? I can't be there because of this, and where we missed you Thursday, we missed you Saturday. You know, where are you? Real support group. And I needed to continue to do that. I didn't need to just complete the class and stop. So we continue on between classes. We have a spring class and a fall class, and we have what we call Fit for the King. Staying fit for the King, and we do the same exercise time schedule Saturday mornings and Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, and we do 1.5 miles, 2 miles walking. And let me say that now, we got a group. If you can't run, we got a walking group, and that's going to be led by Casey White. Tammy Cross, 2nd grade school teacher at Andalusia Elementary.
We're going to need to stop here.
Okay, let's take a break.
We
can get into the details about the class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Welcome back to What's Up, Covington County. And here I am with Don Cotton, and we're talking about Run for God and Fit for a King. 2 programs that you're involved with. One of them's going to teach old fat people like me how to learn how to run. And I think I'm going to try to take y'all up on that this Saturday morning.
Love to have you.
If I can get the wheelchair out of the way. But anyway, you were telling us about some of the classes that y'all do. I had to stop you in the middle of everything.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah, whatever.
The class will begin Saturday, September the 1st. And I know you run this program pretty regular. So we're going to, obviously, you'll be running it after September.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably run it for 2 weeks afterwards. Anyway.
Okay, well, I'm saying if you're listening to this program and it's the 2nd or 3rd weekend of September, come on. Because I think you can still join the first 3 or 4 weeks and make it happen for you. But later on in the program, but anyway, it'd be a little tougher. But we got the 5K training, which will be, I'm one of the instructors, and Tammy Cross, 2nd grade elementary. Andalusia Elementary school teacher, wonderful lady. We've become great dear friends through this program. Would have never known Tammy if it wasn't for the Run for God. She's the co-instructor for the 5K. Casey White will lead the walkers. We got people that just all they can do is walk. All they want to do is walk. We got a walking group, and then Jennifer O'Neill will lead the more seasoned runners that want to move on out of the 5K, get into the 10K, the half marathon. Now Jennifer will lead that program. Now they meet 5:30 on Saturday mornings because they're distance run.
Yeah.
So they have to meet 5:30 in the morning on Saturdays, every Saturday, but they also will join our group at Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:45. It's something for everybody. We've had amputees walk.
Yeah, I know one of them.
Yep. Yeah. And they needed, the doctor was telling them, you need exercise, you need to walk, and so they came out and joined our walking group. The walking group enjoys the same devotions, the same testimonies that everybody else does. So we all meet as a group and then divide up with our different routes. What I like to say about the program, the Run for God program, as the instructor's guide is, and they have DVDs that you play, and you're hearing testimony from people around the world. Well, we don't use them no more because we got our own people.
Right.
We'll have people that have been through this class, like myself, like Tammy Cross, like Dodie Henderson, Lori Messick. I'm naming a few that's just coming to mind.
Why are they all women?
Well,
What do you
Randy,
always name?
Randy Hildreth will be in there. So,
Okay.
so we do have some men. Tim Worley, but
Pick on you.
but they'll do. They give testimony. So we got our
Yeah.
own people that you know, that your neighbors
Right.
and people that maybe you go to church with, will tell their story about Run for God. And again, and there's a lot of dieting taking place. You watch Facebook. I think a lot of people are on this keto diet. This is just this is perfect. This is hand in glove for anybody who's wanting to diet.
Really?
Is to go ahead and join this group so you get some exercise in with any kind of diet that you may be on. And we have a lot of fun, and we have our own class Yale. With football season in the fall. The fall class always, we do a little picking at each other about Auburn, Alabama, the Troy Trojans or whomever.
Yeah.
Got that little camaraderie going on. And we
Competition.
little competition. We have a good time.
Because Hildreth got an Alabama cheer that he can remember.
Well, what had happened was he was taking over the Yale, and it wasn't the kind of Yale that us Auburn people like to participate in. So we had to develop a generic Yale. So we left God on high and not a football team. See,
Yeah.
so if you join our class, you'll learn that God Yale. What we do.
Okay. Well, I just
Okay.
I just knew that the Hildreth would have a problem with those priorities. I don't even know Randy. I just know the way you gig him.
Well, Randy and I became friends through the Run for God. Didn't know him. I've seen him around town. I didn't know who he was, but he and I are dear. He's helping me on the gospel program now.
Good deal.
And
Well, he must be all right then.
he's all right. Yeah, I try to give him Auburn stuff all the time. He won't even.
But
take
he's
it.
such a bammer.
He's Bama all the way. Well, I guess you got to be something, hadn't you?
Yeah, well, they're just different names for that something. Anyway, we got Peanut section out here making comments in the background. Yes, folks, sometimes we actually do have an audience in here, and it's not just Jared and Daniel and I. And today we've got an audience having a little trouble. What did you say you were?
There you go.
War Eagle. Good deal. That conspiracy is almost complete this morning.
Praise God.
I'm sure that there'll be some Alabama people either praying for us or against us after this.
Well, I can tell you, in our Run for God, it'd be about half and half. I mean,
Well, that's Covington County for you there.
that's a Covenant County. You wear your colors too. And-
I'm from Troy, okay? I'm from Troy.
But John, I appreciate
Auburn.
you. I appreciate you doing what you do here with the TV program. I've heard comments, the different subjects you and I have discussed. I know the word's going to get out on Run for God. Help us get the word out.
Yeah,
I
we're
appreciate you what you do here. It's great.
Well, thank you,
and
Don.
Jared
I appreciate it.
take the time out of your busy schedules to put this together.
Well, we're glad we can do it. We're glad we can do it. We're glad for what y'all are doing. Folks, I just want to go over the details again. If you want to join Don Cotton and a lot of other really good people, try to get fit no matter what your age is. It's a program that even somebody that's a fat couch potato like myself should consider. It's called the Run for God, and it's a program to help you get into shape, and they almost all but guarantee you a money back guarantee that at the end of the training you'll be able to run a 3K race. Now the
5K.
reason a 5K race rather. A 5K race, that's just a little over 3 miles. Folks, the reason they don't give you a money back guarantee is there ain't no money exchanges hands. This is a free program that you can participate in to help yourself get fit, not fat. And it's a 12-week program. You're probably able to enroll up to the 3rd week without any too much damage to your body, but they're going to take you and they're going to help you run a mile and run a minute, walk 5, run a minute and walk 5, and then they're going to build up your endurance like that. They're going to meet several times during the week,
3 times.
3 times during the week, but they're going to start off on Saturday, September 1st at 7:30 a.m. That's in the morning. At the student building at First Baptist Church down here on East 3 Ninth Street. That's right by the Boy Scout building. And there's no charge. Be there if you can a little bit earlier than 7:30 to register. They're not going to give you a T-shirt or anything like that, but they're going to help you get into shape so that you can be a better person and maybe a better servant for the Lord. And they're going to teach you some other things, about how to develop your testimony and show your own testimony to others about the Lord and what He does in your life. I just don't see how you can lose doing that, Don.
Good program.
Anyway, it's a good program, and we'll be broadcasting this as a public service announcement, and we'll continue to broadcast this for at least 2 weeks after the program starts, so that you'll continue to be able to remind you that you can continue to join. Anyway, we thank Don for coming in. Thank you for everything you do for us in the community and with us here at the station. And we'll see y'all later. So much for What's Up, Covenant County.